three-time champion. We won three. Me and you, we were on two championship teams together. The back-to-back 87, 88.
Yep.
Then you won another one with the Shaq and Kobe era.
Yep.
In 2000. And like I said, in between that time, you went from November 19th, 1986 to April 18th, 2001, and you only missed 3 games in that 15-year span. I almost find that impossible. As hard as we played and many games that we played, practices that we had, how are you able to achieve that goal?
Come on. The great thing is you're asking the question and you lived it. Okay. So that's why you understand and you know obviously what goes into it just from A to Z. Practice, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, every element, and so all those play a part, in all honesty, they really do. And so for some of you listeners out there, it's one of those things, what we really are talking about is that from the physical standpoint, you got to do what you can do. You got to play your part. Right. So you got to get in that gym. You got to get in that weight room. You got to bust your behind. You got to, have your guys holding you accountable to go to the weight room and get your repetitions in when you don't feel like it, in the off days, off season. And so you got to do those things. And then the game itself is one that just, as you know, it comes so fast. Right. And so once you get your routine, you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm in it, And then just the spiritual aspect, honestly, is like, it's all those things that are out of your control. Right. Okay, and that's where that really came in and comes in for someone. And I think for those, 99.8% of the games in my career that I did play in, as the record books show, that had a big part in it, man. Because a lot of those things, man, you always airborne. Yeah. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. You always going up in the air. Some just go up a little bit higher than others. Right. But everybody going to go up in the air at some point in time. And so the landing is so important. And you just don't know where you're going to land, how you're going to land. And so all that stuff just plays a part, man. So, but I'm grateful. I am beyond blessed in just a sense to sort of look back at it now and see, really what God has done. Right. You played in more games straight than I played my whole career, and like I said, you said I lived it, and I can't remember how many years in the NBA did you play, Junior? 16. Yeah. I played 14, and there was a point in time, and I'm trying to remember if this was your rookie year or your second year, where you had torn ligaments in your thumb. Yeah. And you still only missed a game or two or something like that during that span, and were able to come back and play with a cast on, basically. That's where you and Buck start doing that little, every celebration, y'all put the fingers together and twirl them and run off the court. And it was amazing to me because I thought when you tore it, okay, he's going to be out, 4 to 6 weeks like everybody else be talking about. And if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, you might have missed a game, maybe 2, and you were back on the court. I mean, again, that's that perseverance that you talk about and that will, determination to play. But just tell me, how was it playing through? Because I know you didn't play 1,192 games healthy. Right. There were some games that you played where you wasn't healthy at all. Right. And you still were able to push through it. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, and I think that's really where that torn ligament time, for instance, because we just completed the rookie year, and we're going into the second year, so that was preseason. It was our last game in New Mexico, our last game of preseason playing the Suns, and I just got my finger caught up in a jersey and just bent it the opposite way. Right. Gary Vitti, our trainer, that's what he says. He says, "You dummy, you did it the wrong way." That sounds like Gary too. The little Tom Selleck we used to call him back there, half pint pink, the Pink Panther, Inspector Clouseau. Yeah, he wouldn't be sympathetic when you got hurt. He never came to you and said, "Oh, you're gonna be all right." He would be just like you said, Junior. So what you do, dummy? Yeah. What did you tear this time? Exactly. So